Hello everyone and welcome to another great lesson here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we've got an upper intermediate level lesson for you all.
That's right. We're going to talk a little bit about business, and specifically we are in a business meeting where we're trying to sell something to someone.
That's right. So you're going to hear a lot of talk about chocolate, or in this case, gourmet bonbons.
Gourmet bonbons.
Bonbons is another word for chocolate candies or candies.
Okay, so a bonbon is kind of like round usually, right?
Usually, yes.
Okay.
All right, so let's get started and listen to today's dialogue. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm glad you could find time to meet with me, Mr. Johnson. I can't think of a nicer environment for our meeting today. The ambience here is lovely.
No problem. If possible, I always combine business with pleasure. Now let's hear more about these chocolates you're offering.
Well, as you know, I have recently become the sole distributor for Granger's Gourmet Bonbons here in the United States. They're a new manufacturer and are looking to break into the luxury market. Naturally, your restaurant sprang into my mind immediately. I think your brand exemplifies many of the same traits as Granger's, and serving these chocolates would really add to your reputation for providing elegant, luxurious, first-class dining.
Sounds interesting. Gourmet chocolates. Where are they produced? Belgium?
Actually, the factory is located in Scotland.
Really? I didn't think they were known for their luxury chocolate production.
That's what makes this such a fantastic opportunity. The government is 100% supportive of creating new export markets and has guaranteed a low tariff for all wholesale orders of over 1,000 units. They've also reduced the red tape involved at customs as well. Here, I brought these especially for you. Try one.
Oh, thanks. Creamy texture. Very smooth.
Unique, aren't they? I bet you've never tasted anything like it. Quality is assured as I personally visit the factory to make sure no one's cutting corners with the ingredients. Only the crème de la crème make it through inspection.
Yes, very interesting flavors. Slightly spicy. Very unique, that's for sure. Exactly what are the ingredients?
I have it on highest authority that this traditional secret recipe has been handed down in the Granger family for generations. I'm sure you can keep a secret. Buttermilk, cacao beans, sugar, and haggis.
Haggis. What's haggis?
It's a traditional Scottish delicacy. You take sheep's liver, heart, and lung and stuff it inside the sheep's stomach.
I'll get back to you.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Johnson! All right, we're back. So a lot of interesting vocab there. The guy was trying to convince him about these chocolates, but it turned out to be something a little bit strange, and we'll talk about that in a little while. Before we get into that, why don't we take a look at 7 key words that we have prepared for you today on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so we've divided language takeaway into 2 parts today. The first part is all about business and manufacturing. So what's our first word, Marco?
All right, so the guy talked about being the sole distributor for this company called Granger's Gourmet Bonbons.
Okay, a distributor. Okay, this is a person or a company, and the distributor is someone who distributes or sells a product, right?
Right, so the factory will make them. He will get all these goods from the factory, and then he will be the one that gives it to the different retail stores. So he can have many clients, and he is the main person who you get it from. So obviously they don't get it directly from the factory.
Okay, so this person, a distributor or a company, is in the middle of the transaction. On one side there is the manufacturer, and on the other side there is the retail market or stores.
Exactly. And as you said, that's our second key word today, manufacturer.
Okay, manufacturer manufacturer, again, is a person or company that makes a good. So, for example, a television manufacturer makes TVs. It's like a factory.
Exactly. So they manufacture things, they make them.
All right. So we've got distributors who are moving goods. We have manufacturers who are making them. But what happens when we want to move a good out of a country?
Okay, so that is our third word for today. Usually in customs, we have to pay a tariff for these goods, or a tax.
Okay, so a tariff is a special kind of tax that you pay when you are trying to export or send outside of your country goods that you've made in that country. So, for example, if I make 100 TVs in America, but I want to sell these TVs to someone in Mexico, I have to pay a tariff. I have to pay like $10 to the government.
That's right.
That allows me to send these out of the country.
That's right. So that is a tariff. And now when he was talking about tariffs and how the government is reducing the tariffs in order to motivate business, he talked about also that the government is reducing or cutting the red tape.
Okay, so he says, listen, they've also reduced the red tape involved at customs. So this means that before they were encountering some problems at customs, because customs, you know, there's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of taxes, there's a lot of information you have to provide. It's a hassle. It's a lot of work.
A lot of paperwork.
Right. So this kind of paperwork, bureaucracy, this is called red tape in English. For example, I would love to get a visa for my foreign husband, but there's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of work that we have to do.
There's a lot of bureaucratic processes that you have to do.
All right. So red tape, this means a lot of paperwork, a lot of work that you have to do.
Okay. So those are our key words that are related to business. Now let's move on to a couple of different adjectives. The first one, when he talked about chocolates, he said elegant. He said that something is elegant.
Okay, elegant. This is a great adjective. You're going to see this on a lot of luxury brand items. Elegance means something is elegant if it is classy, if it looks really good and rich, or you could say that dress is very elegant, that mink coat is very elegant.
Okay.
This is a positive thing.
So something that looks kind of expensive at times as well.
Yeah, that's right. Another word that means looking expensive or elegant is luxurious.
Okay, so luxurious comes from the noun luxury.
That's right. Luxury, luxurious. So we can say that the executive suites at this hotel are very luxurious. They have a jacuzzi, a king-size bed, expensive silk sheets. All right, the best quality materials.
So you can say that elegant and luxurious kind of go hand in hand.
That's right. Although elegant you usually say about someone or their clothing, or even a car, but luxurious is more like
Object.
a place or an object.
Okay. Good. And then we have one final word that also describes something that is very rare or very good and rich, a delicacy.
Yeah, actually, this one is a noun. It's a thing. So we can say that this is a Scottish delicacy, or what are the delicacies in your country? So delicacy is something that's special.
Okay.
So, for example, you've told me that in Ecuador there are some interesting food delicacies.
Delicacies?
Little animals.
Yeah, for example, guinea pigs. Well, they're not really a delicacy, although kind of, because guinea pigs are expensive comparatively to chickens, for example. So it is considered to be something that you only eat on special occasions.
Right. And in East Asia, many people consider shark's fin soup to be a delicacy.
Right.
It's a special dish.
So we can say that it's usually about food, and it's rare, something that's rare or special, or also can be very expensive.
That's right, a delicacy.
Okay, so a lot of great, interesting words on language takeaway. Why don't we move on now to Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
This first phrase is actually something I try to do as often as possible, but it's usually very difficult. I combine business with pleasure.
Right, to combine business with pleasure. Now, this is a whole phrase, and this talks about doing business, but at the same time, doing it in a fun way or an interesting way.
Right. So pleasure here means something that is fun or entertainment even. So, for example, going out to dinner with your company is a way to combine business with pleasure. All right. Or meeting a client at a bar is combining business with pleasure. So you're
Right.
combining things that are fun and things that are work related.
Right, because you can have a business meeting in a boardroom or in a business or in a meeting room, but if you have the same business meeting at a bar where you're talking and laughing, but also at the same time talking business, then you're combining business with pleasure.
That's right.
And now for our second phrase, it's more about cheating, right? Somebody that is cheating or maybe not doing things correctly, they are cutting corners.
That's right. So cutting corners is another way to say cheating. For example, I've seen students cutting corners with their studies. You think about cutting corners, it means that you're not going the long way. You're
Right.
you're cheating by going the shorter way.
You're taking a shortcut.
Taking a shortcut. So, for example, instead of studying for that final test in math, some people write the formulas on their hands.
Right.
This is a way to cut corners. Instead of studying, you actually cheat by putting it on your hand, making it easier.
So to cut corners is to cheat or to try to take the shortcut, but it kind of has a negative connotation, right?
Oh, definitely. So most people will say, don't cut corners. In the end, it's not worth it.
Right. And for our final phrase, we have one that it's in French.
So this one is in French, but it's also a very common English phrase. That's why we're going to teach it to you. The crème de la crème.
Okay. So literally in translated from French, that means the cream of the cream.
Right. But in English, we would say that it's the best of the best.
The best of the
The
best.
very top.
So that's what this phrase means. The best of the best. The very top. The most excellent.
So you could say, Harvard University attracts the crème de la crème of American high school students.
Okay, so the very best of American high school students. All right, so that phrase, it's in French, but you can say it in English, right? Like
should.
fiancé, for example.
Fiancé, crème de la crème. These are all words that we've stolen from
Right.
French and we use in English. So don't worry about how you pronounce it. In English, we just say crème de la crème.
Okay, so why don't we listen to this dialogue for the last time, and we'll be back in just a bit. I'm glad you could find time to meet with me, Mr. Johnson. I can't think of a nicer environment for our meeting today. The ambience here is lovely.
No problem. If possible, I always combine business with pleasure. Now let's hear more about these chocolates you're offering.
Well, as you know, I have recently become the sole distributor for Granger's Gourmet Bonbons here in the United States. They're a new manufacturer and are looking to break into the luxury market. Naturally, your restaurant sprang into my mind immediately. I think your brand exemplifies many of the same traits as Granger's, and serving these chocolates would really add to your reputation for providing elegant, luxurious, first-class dining.
Sounds interesting. Gourmet chocolates. Where are they produced? Belgium?
Actually, the factory is located in Scotland.
Really? I didn't think they were known for their luxury chocolate production.
That's what makes this such a fantastic opportunity. The government is 100% supportive of creating new export markets and has guaranteed a low tariff for all wholesale orders of over 1,000 units. They've also reduced the red tape involved at customs as well. Here, I brought these especially for you. Try one.
Oh, thanks. Creamy texture. Very smooth.
Unique, aren't they? I bet you've never tasted anything like it. Quality is assured as I personally visit the factory to make sure no one's cutting corners with the ingredients. Only the crème de la crème make it through inspection.
Yes, very interesting flavors. Slightly spicy. Very unique, that's for sure. Exactly what are the ingredients?
I have it on highest authority that this traditional secret recipe has been handed down in the Granger family for generations. I'm sure you can keep a secret. Buttermilk, cacao beans, sugar, and haggis.
Haggis. What's haggis?
It's a traditional Scottish delicacy. You take sheep's liver, heart, and lung and stuff it inside the sheep's stomach.
I'll get back to you.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Johnson! All right, we're back. So now this Scottish delicacy. What is this haggis?
Haggis.
Haggis.
Okay, haggis. I've never actually eaten it. It does sound pretty disgusting. It's a Scottish delicacy that I think involves stuffing. Like what? What do we hear? Pig liver? Let's see this again. So basically, you take a sheep's liver, a heart, and a lung, and you put it inside the sheep's stomach, and you serve that. So it's
And you
kind
cook
of
it. Yeah, you cook it like that.
You cook it, and so it's like all the insides of a sheep.
Yeah. It kind of sounds disgusting, but I'm pretty sure it tastes pretty good. Because it's a Scottish
tastes
delicacy,
good.
so.
Yeah, I don't know. Although I cannot imagine eating it in a chocolate. This is disgusting.
I've heard of countries where they take chicken, they stuff it with something, like they have a stuffing, and then they put the chicken inside a goat, and then the goat inside a bigger animal, and then they cook all that together.
Oh, wow.
And then you have this amazing, obviously it's huge. They use these big brick ovens to cook them. But you have this platter with like 3 different types of meats.
Oh, wow. We have that in America.
Really?
It's called a turducken.
Turducken.
Turkey, ducken, turkey, duck, and chicken. So you have a chicken inside of a duck, which you put inside of a turkey.
Turkey, wow.
And you bake it.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does it taste?
Delicious.
Ah,
It's a very
see?
special taste.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm curious to know what your national delicacy is. Do you have a delicacy in your home country? Let us know on EnglishPod.com. We're always curious to talk about food, but we would love to have you practicing on the website and asking any questions that you may have.
That's right. So we'll see everyone there.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. The atmosphere of a place. Ambience. A person or business that sells to retail stores. Distributor. A company that makes goods. Manufacturer. Enter quickly. Break into. To appear or come into being quickly. Spring. Sets an example, a demonstration. Exemplify. A characteristic feature or quality. Trait. Place where goods are made. Factory. Famous for, easily recognized. No. A tax or amount of money to be paid. Tariff. The sale of goods in large quantities. Wholesale. Procedures required to gain bureaucratic approval. Red tape. To do something in the easiest or most inexpensive way. Cutting corners. To pass from one family member or generation to the other. Hand down. Made of sheep's viscera, minced with oatmeal and sweat. Haggis. To pack tightly, to cram inside. Stuff. Let's try that faster. The sale of goods in large quantities. Wholesale. Made of sheep's viscera, minced with oatmeal and sweat. Haggis. Famous for, easily recognized. No. Place where goods are made. Factory. Sets an example, a demonstration. Exemplify. Enter quickly. Break into. To pass from one family member or generation to the other. Hand down. A person or business that sells to retail stores. Distributor. A tax or amount of money to be paid. Tariff. To pack tightly, to cram inside. Stuff. To appear or come into being quickly. Spring. A company that makes goods. Manufacturer. To do something in the easiest or most inexpensive way. Cutting corners. Procedures required to gain bureaucratic approval. Red tape. A characteristic feature or quality. Trait. The atmosphere of a place. Ambience. Exemplify. 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 Wholesale. 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 Red tape. Red tape. Red tape. Cutting corners. Cutting corners. Cutting corners. Hand down. Hand down. Hand down. Hello everyone and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today Marco and I have an elementary level lesson for you.
That's right. It's a new year, and so we have a lesson for you where we are going to make new decisions and have a new opportunity in the new year, right?
That's right. So the new year is the time to change parts of your life, maybe. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's listen to this dialogue 3 times, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the words and phrases in the dialogue.
Now that it's the new year, I've decided to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah? You finally decided to wipe the slate clean?
You got it. I have a new job, I'm living in a new city with new friends. This is my opportunity to make some small changes in the way I live my life.
So what are you going to do? Take up an art class or something?
Well, first of all, I've decided to stop smoking. It's not that I'm pinching pennies or anything, it's just that I've been smoking since I was 16, and I think it's time to stop.
I'm with you on that one. Anything else you're planning on doing?
One last thing. I've decided to come out of the closet.
It's about time.
All right, we're back. And so if you notice, the dialogue has actually a lot of really, really rich phrases in there. So today we're going to change the format a little bit, and we're going to do Fluency Builder in 2 different sections. So starting out with the first one on Fluency Builder Part 1.
Fluency Builder.
So the new year, we think about new things, changing things. We have a great phrase in English to describe starting fresh, starting anew. And we say, turn over a new leaf.
Okay, so you turn over a new leaf. So that means that you are going to maybe make a radical change, right? Some completely new.
That's right. So if you think about it, it's a new chapter in your life or a new adventure or something like that. Maybe you're going to quit your job, turn over a new leaf, start a new job.
Okay. So you can say, I'm going to turn over a new leaf, or Sarah turned over a new leaf and quit smoking.
Let's turn over a new leaf and forget the past.
There we go. All right, so to turn over a new leaf. So just imagine that you have a leaf on the ground and you turn it over and it's nice and clean. All right, and talking about cleanliness, our second phrase is to wipe the slate clean.
Okay, when I think about this phrase, I think about a chalkboard, okay? So a slate is like a chalkboard, and all of the things that you've done, good and bad, are on that chalkboard. And to wipe the slate clean means to erase those words, erase those things. So perhaps Marco and I fight all the time, and we're angry at each other. Finally, I say, listen, Marco, let's wipe the slate clean. Let's forget the past. Let's forget the things we said and start again.
And start a new leaf. To wipe the slate clean is to just start over. You know, just to erase everything. Let's forget about it and start over.
Exactly.
All right, and so we're starting over, and his friend is asking, you decided to wipe the slate clean, and the friend said, you got it. You got what?
What? It.
What is it?
In English, we love the word it.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, you got it means you're right, exactly. You understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, so if you agree with me or I understand what you're talking about, you would say, you got it.
You got it.
You got it. Okay.
All right, so I'm trying to explain to you, maybe, Marco, something very difficult, like, if you add 4 and 10, you get 14, but what if you add 10 more?
It's 24.
You got it.
All right.
Okay, so he understands math.
Yes. Okay, so that's the way you would use you got it. It's a really popular phrase. I mean, you can use it on pretty much anything, not only if you're right, but also if somebody agrees with it or you promise something, right? So, are you going to pick me up today? Yeah, you got it.
Okay,
No problem.
so it's a way to agree or to show that you're saying yes.
Yes. Okay, so why don't we listen to our dialogue again, and we'll come back shortly to look at Fluency Builder Part 2.
Now that it's the new year, I've decided to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah? You finally decided to wipe the slate clean?
You got it. I have a new job, I'm living in a new city with new friends. This is my opportunity to make some small changes in the way I live my life.
So what are you going to do? Take up an art class or something?
Well, first of all, I've decided to stop smoking. It's not that I'm pinching pennies or anything, it's just that I've been smoking since I was 16, and I think it's time to stop.
I'm with you on that one. Anything else you're planning on doing?
One last thing. I've decided to come out of the closet.
It's about time.
All right, we're back, so now let's continue with our Fluency Builder. And, they kept talking, and the guy mentioned that he's going to stop smoking. But it's not because he is pinching pennies.
Oh, pinching. That sounds painful.
Right.
Okay, pinching is something you do, especially when you're a child. You squeeze the skin. Pinch, and
Right.
it hurts. So to pinch really is to hold something with 2 fingers. To pinch pennies means to try to spend very, very, very little money. Okay?
Right.
So if we say, if I say, hey, Marco, you want to go to dinner tonight? There's this really nice Italian place. It's a little expensive, but...
Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm really pinching pennies these days because I'm kind of broke.
So maybe we'll go somewhere cheaper.
Yeah. So actually, pennies are 1 cent. 1 cent coins, right? They're called pennies in the United States.
That's right. And it's the smallest kind of money that we have in America. So if you're pinching pennies, if you're saving pennies, it means you really don't have much money.
Right,
So
you're really, really saving.
That's right.
Okay, so pinching pennies. So he decided to quit smoking, and his friend agreed with him and said, you know what? I'm with you on that one.
Okay, so you quit smoking, Marco, and I quit smoking. I'm with you on that one. I think it's a good idea. If I'm with you on that one, it means I agree with you. You're doing the right thing.
So you can say, I'm with you on that one, or you can just say, you know what? I'm with you. Do it.
I'm with
or
you.
I'm with you. I agree. Or I'm with you. I support your decision.
So you are going to go skydiving in a couple weeks. That means you're
Right.
going to jump out of an airplane. I'm not with you on that one.
You don't support my decision.
I think it's okay for you, but I would not want to do it personally.
All right. Right. So you can do it in that way or just anything. You support somebody's decision. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
Exactly.
All right. And our last phrase, to come out of the closet.
So who's in the closet?
Why is somebody hiding in the closet?
Okay, someone's not really hiding in the closet. This is a phrase we use to describe someone who is gay or lesbian, who has a secret about being a gay or a lesbian. So when they come out of the closet, they're telling their friends and family for the first time that this is how they feel.
So it's basically a phrase that's kind of a metaphor to say, you know what, I'm going to tell everyone that I am gay or lesbian, right?
That's right. Well, it's because in English, oftentimes a closet is a place where we keep secrets. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so to come out of the closet means to share your secrets with people.
So sometimes in English you say you have skeletons in the closet.
That's right. This is a little different. Maybe I killed someone and it's a skeleton in my closet. It's a secret that I keep.
But a skeleton in your closet can also be a very big secret, like you were once married and you never told anyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Or I have 2 kids and I never told you guys.
Right. So those would be skeletons in the closet. But in this case, it's to come out of the closet. And that's always related to telling somebody for the first time that you are gay or lesbian.
That's right. And we don't say it about being straight, which is the opposite, which is men who love women and women who love men.
Right.
You don't say it about coming out of the closet there. You say it about being gay or lesbian.
Okay. So very interesting. And so I think we should listen to this dialogue for the last time, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
Now that it's the new year, I've decided to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah? You finally decided to wipe the slate clean?
You got it. I have a new job, I'm living in a new city with new friends. This is my opportunity to make some small changes in the way I live my life.
So what are you gonna do? Take up an art class or something?
Well, first of all, I've decided to stop smoking. It's not that I'm pinching pennies or anything, it's just that I've been smoking since I was 16, and I think it's time to stop.
I'm with you on that one. Anything else you're planning on doing?
One last thing. I've decided to come out of the closet.
It's about time.
All right, we're back. So this is very interesting, and these phrases are so common because if you have a fight with somebody, you say, you know what, let's just wipe the slate clean and start all over again, or let's turn over a new leaf, let's stop fighting. And especially in New Year's, right? Everyone makes a promise to start fresh.
That's right. Well, the new year, you can use a new calendar. You can take a fresh perspective on your life. It's refreshing. And I think it's good that we do this. We evaluate the things that make us happy and we evaluate the things that make us unhappy. Mm-hmm. And part of that means turning over a new leaf. Part of it also means apologizing to people.
Right.
Or trying to make the relationships in your life healthier. Mm-hmm. And I think it's very healthy that the person in this dialogue says, listen, I'm finally going to come out of the closet. I'm going to be honest with my friends and family.
And that's really interesting because, as we said, to come out of the closet is a phrase used in English and mostly related only in this context. So you might see it in TV shows or in a movie. And but it's an interesting topic, still debatable all over the world about, gay marriages and things like that.
That's right. So we're curious about your New Year's resolutions. Are you going to be wiping any slates clean? Are you going to be doing anything differently this year? Let us know on our website, englishpod.com. We look forward to hearing from you, and until next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Start anew. Turn over a new leaf. Start over. Wipe the slate clean. Chance. Opportunity. Start. Adopt the study. Take up. To be thrifty. Pinch pennies. Support you. With you. To state openly or publicly one's homosexuality. Come out of the closet.
Let's try that faster.
To be thrifty. Pinch pennies. Chance. Opportunity. Start. Adopt the study. Take up. To state openly or publicly one's homosexuality. Come out of the closet. Start over. Wipe the slate clean. Start anew. Turn over a new leaf. Support you. With you.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Turn over a new leaf. The dragon decided to turn over a new leaf by opening a new bar and grill restaurant instead of burning and eating humans. Turn over a new leaf. My sister has really turned over a new leaf since the last time I saw her. She doesn't get angry easily anymore and is more thoughtful. Turn over a new leaf. English Pod decided to turn over a new leaf and offer learning English in Chinese to its users. Wipe the slate clean. I was unhappy with the way I was living, so I decided to wipe the slate clean and start again. Wipe the slate clean. By wiping the slate clean, he was able to forget the troubles of his past and go on with living his life. Wipe the slate clean. She hoped that by starting this new business, she could wipe the slate clean and be accepted back into the community. Opportunity. Now that I've graduated, this is my opportunity to make a difference in the world. Opportunity. When it was his turn to sing karaoke, He jumped at the opportunity to show his friends how good he was. Opportunity. When they were finally alone on the beach, watching the sunset, he took the opportunity to tell her that he loved her. Take up. Are you going to take up dancing this year? Or are you going to stick to gymnastics? Take up. I am going to take up learning Chinese as my New Year's resolution. With you. You think he was guilty? I'm with you on that one. With you. I'm with you when you say that life's not fair. But I don't agree that we should just sit around and feel sorry for ourselves when life gets tough.
Hello everyone, welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and today, Marco, we're talking about something that I know you're a big fan of.
I am. We're talking about computer games, video games.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! So yeah, we're going to be looking at some vocabulary and phrases related to computer games and video games, and this is actually a request from one of our users.
Awesome. So before we get started, we do have the name of the game that we're going to look at. So let's listen to that in today's vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so the game that we're going to preview today is called Counter-Strike.
Okay, so first you have a strike or an attack,
Right.
and then you have a counter-strike.
So that's opposite attack or something like that, right?
So it's a reaction to the first thing that happens. So
Right.
you hit me, and my counter-strike is I hit you back.
Uh-huh. And this game is actually very, very popular all over the world because many players are able to compete at the same time. So it's a shooting game. You shoot each other. You are the terrorists, and then the other team is like the police or the army or whatever.
Wow, sounds really exciting. Well, we're going to learn more about the specific vocab that goes with computer games and video games in a minute. But first, let's take a listen to our dialogue.
Mark, where have you been? I've been calling you all morning.
I've been playing computer games.
What? So you blew me off yesterday and today over a stupid video game? What game is so important that you have no time for me anymore? What are you playing?
It's called Counter-Strike. It's a first-person shooter game. It's awesome! It's a multiplayer game where you can go online and compete against players from all over the world.
You've been wasting your time on this? I can't believe it. It doesn't even look fun or challenging.
My laptop is on my bed. If you think it's so easy, then get online and try to beat me.
Fine.
Damn it! How are you killing me with a single shot? It's not fair! I don't want to play anymore! Let's go get something to eat.
Can you bring me something? I'm totally hooked on this game.
All right, we're back. So there was some really interesting vocab here. And so let's look at it now in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so what kind of a game was this, Marco?
All right, this game was a FPS, or also in the dialogue we heard a first-person shooter game.
So our users might have heard this phrase first person before because it's a grammar term in many ways.
Right.
We talk about I do this, I can sing. That's the first person. But when we're talking about games, first person shooter means that what you do, you're doing as if you were the character in the game.
Right. So even the way that you're looking at the game, it seems like you're looking through the eyes of the character.
Okay, so you don't see the body, you are the body of the person.
Body, exactly.
So first person shooter. So shooter obviously means that this is a shooting game. What you do is you pull the trigger and shoot people.
Exactly. And as we mentioned, a lot of players are able to compete against each other, so it's called a multiplayer game.
Okay, so multi is a prefix. It goes at the beginning of a word. In English, that means many. So you could hear multicolored or multi-ethnic.
Right.
And the meaning of this is that there are many different colors or many different ethnicities, or in this case, multiplayer, many different players at the same time.
Exactly. So in this game, many players can play, whether it's in a local area network or online over the internet.
Cool. So you actually have to have the internet, right, when you're doing this because you're using many different computers, so they have to be connected to each other.
Right. So, and that's our next word. You go online in order to play.
Okay, so online you've heard before. Online means on the internet. But in this case, the action of using the internet is called going online. So I want to go online to read my email.
Right. Or I can't go online. I don't have a connection.
My mom won't let me go online. I'm in trouble.
All right. So this is the way that you use it. You go online. In order to use the internet, you go online.
Very interesting. Well, the last word we've got here in language takeaway is a very important one when we talk about video games because many people are in this situation. They're hooked on video games.
Right. So if you are hooked on a video game or you are hooked on anything, it means you're kind of addicted or you're very, very interested in something.
Exactly. So I'm hooked on the TV show True Blood. I
Right.
love to watch it, and every day I run home so I can watch it. But is there a game that you're hooked on, Marco?
Currently, I am hooked on a game called Guitar Hero Metallica.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
When I borrowed your PS3, I was hooked on Bad Company.
They're great games. It's very easy to get hooked on video games.
Too easy.
All right, so that's all the words we have for language takeaway. Why don't we listen to our dialogue again, and we'll be back in a bit.
Mark, where have you been? I've been calling you all morning.
I've been playing computer games.
What? So you blew me off yesterday and today over a stupid video game. What game is so important that you have no time for me anymore? What are you playing?
It's called Counter-Strike. It's a first-person shooter game. It's awesome. It's a multiplayer game where you can go online and compete against players from all over the world.
You've been wasting your time on this? I can't believe it. It doesn't even look fun or challenging.
My laptop is on my bed. If you think it's so easy, then get online and try to beat me.
Fine.
Damn it! How are you killing me with a single shot? It's not fair. I don't want to play anymore. Let's go get something to eat.
Can you bring me something? I'm totally hooked on this game.
All right, we're back, and we have a couple of phrases that we want to look at, specifically 2 phrases. So let's look at those now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So what's the deal? You blew me off yesterday, and now you're not even going to say sorry?
All right, so blew me off. What do you mean when you say you blew me off yesterday?
Okay, so let's take a look at the infinitive version of this phrase. So to blow someone off, and they all go together. It's a fixed phrase, and this means to have an appointment with someone, but to not go.
All right.
So we had a date planned, but he blew me off.
Okay.
What a jerk.
So
he didn't go.
But
I went.
Did he tell you that he wasn't going to go?
No.
Okay.
No. So it's a surprise. It's like you expect someone to come meet you or do something with you, but they don't say anything and they don't go.
So there's another word very similar to this it's to stand someone up, right?
Exactly. So he stood me up.
All
He
right.
didn't come. He blew me off.
Okay. Very good. All right. And what's our next phrase?
To waste your time.
All right. So the girlfriend in this case was like, you're wasting your time on these video games.
That means you're not getting anything out of this. You're not benefiting. It means that you could spend your time doing other things.
Okay. So if you're wasting your time on video games, you're not being productive.
Exactly.
You're not learning anything.
So your mother might say to you when you're a kid, don't waste your time on games. You should be studying.
Okay, or he wastes a lot of time watching TV.
That's a common problem.
All right. So let's listen to this dialogue again real fast, and we'll be back in a bit.
Mark, where have you been? I've been calling you all morning.
I've been playing computer games.
What? So you blew me off yesterday and today over a stupid video game. What game is so important that you have no time for me anymore? What are you playing?
It's called Counter-Strike. It's a first-person shooter game. It's awesome! It's a multiplayer game where you can go online and compete against players from all over the world.
You've been wasting your time on this? I can't believe it. It doesn't even look fun or challenging.
My laptop is on my bed. If you think it's so easy, then get online and try to beat me.
Fine.
Damn it! How are you killing me with a single shot? It's not fair. I don't want to play anymore. Let's go get something to eat.
Can you bring me something? I'm totally hooked on this game.
All right, so we talked about, being hooked on TV shows and video games. But this is actually a very big problem in some Asian countries specifically, right?
I've heard that. Actually, I heard that in Japan, Korea, and China specifically, there are psychological treatment centers for kids who are addicted to gaming. And so there's a big thing in the news in China recently where there were parents who were sending their kids to this treatment center. Rehab for games. And that actually they found out that the rehab center didn't know what they were doing, and they were giving the kids electroshock therapy to get them off games.
Really?
So the parents took their kids back.
That's scary.
It is scary.
But I guess it's a very popular thing in Asian countries specifically, right? To play online, to go online. There's a lot of other factors that influence this, but I think it is like everything in excess is dangerous.
This is true. And actually, some people have been using this addiction to be a productive use of their time. So you have some people who play a game called World of Warcraft.
And they win money.
And they sell things to other players all over the world. And so you have these kids in America buying toys and shields and gold from kids in, for example, Indonesia.
Right.
And the kid in Indonesia is making money.
Right. And also, if they're really good, they go on to become professional gamers and compete in world competitions and also test out new video games. So yeah, it has its advantages as well.
Can you imagine what your business card would look like? Professional gamer.
Professional gamer. All right, that's all the time we have for today. We hope you enjoyed this lesson. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, or doubts, please come to our website, englishpod.com, and we'll see you guys there.
Until next time, everyone.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. To ignore someone or not appear to an appointment. Blow someone off. Difficult in an enjoyable way. Challenging. Defeat. Beat. Addicted. Hooked. Use more than necessary. Waste. Let's try that faster. To ignore someone or not appear to an appointment. Blow someone off. Defeat. Beat. Difficult in an enjoyable way. Challenging. Use more than necessary. Waste. Addicted. Hooked. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Blow someone off. I can't believe she blew me off again. Blow someone off. I swear if you blow me off again, I won't talk to you again. Blow someone off. You can't let him blow me off like that. Challenging. I like games that are challenging. Challenging. I was expecting something a little bit more challenging. Challenging. Everyone says this career is so challenging, but it hasn't been for me so far. Beat. Two guys showed up out of nowhere and started beating me up. Beat. Try and beat me if you can. Beat. I want to beat that guy up so hard. Hooked. He got really hooked on that game. Hooked. She seems to be really hooked on you. Hooked. Some drugs are so strong that you can't avoid getting hooked on. Waste. I have wasted enough time by doing nothing. Waste. I don't want to waste my time doing something I don't enjoy. Waste. He wasted so much time on a project that was rejected.